but it's cold this morning. Where's the sun gone? It's been so beautiful over the past weeks. Gosh, it's been so amazing, the weather. So, good morning. Welcome to Success in Trading. My name is Judy V, and I'm co-founder of the Tribe of Traders and author of the Truth About Trading book as well. And we make traders profitable, successful through our unique approach to trading. And today what I want to speak to you about is looking at, we've got a program running at the moment which we call the Tech Intensive. And essentially it's a really intensive program. It's a 3-month program. And I go through every trader's trading results for everyone, feedback on the actual trades. And sometimes, you can see the difference between if they just eliminated mistakes, how profitable they would be week after week, month after month, and at the end of the day, that's what you need to compound your account, isn't it? Right? So it's all about eliminating mistakes. I promise you that if you just eliminate mistakes from your trading, you'll be profitable. But the issue is, why are the mistakes being made? That's the real issue here. That's the real question. Why are the mistakes being made? And there could be like many reasons. So where do the mistakes start? Where does, when people have accidents or incidents happen, normally they say, well, there's never just one thing. It's normally 3 things or a few things that culminate together, and that creates the accident or the mishap or whatever it is, okay? So when it comes to mistakes in trading, it's never really just the one thing, right? It could be that you're in a certain state that's not calm when you sit down to trade, and you create a watch list based on that, and you make a mistake in the watch list. Like, for example, today is a classic example, really good example actually today. We've just done the watch list for this morning. A lot of Aussie on the watch list, right? There's about 5 or 6 Aussie opportunities on the watch list this morning. So the first mistake might be in that case that you're sitting down, you do the watch list, you're maybe not in a very calm state, you're rushing it, and you've got lots of Aussies, and then without thinking about it, you put a lot of Aussie trades on without consulting or knowing your trade plan. You have more than one Aussie trade on at any one time. Do you have more than 2 on? And do you select the highest probability of those Aussie trades? What are the rules around selecting the highest probabilities around those trades, around those potential setups, right? So and then you just execute the first one that comes along rather than the highest probability ones. So it's never just the one thing that happens that makes you take a trade that's a mistake. It's normally a few things. It's not being in a trade-ready state. It's not doing what needs to be done when you're doing your watch list. You haven't followed the routine. You haven't followed the procedure. When you actually go and place the trade, you haven't done a double check or trade plan. You know what I'm saying? It's never just one thing. And this is why I'm going to suggest that this week. Oh yeah, before I go on to that, the other thing is that it's what we as people, when we identify and realize that, we're making mistakes or we want to change something, we try and change a whole host of things at the same time. And that's very difficult. It's very difficult to change a whole host of things at the same time because one, you get confused, it's not consistent, there are different reasons for making the different mistakes, and it just ends up being back at square one, okay? So this week, what I'm going to ask you to focus on one thing. What is the one thing you can master this week with your trading? What is the one thing you can look at, something that you're consistently maybe not mastering, something you're consistently not getting quite right, something that you're consistently making mistakes on, all right? Because I had one trader in the Tech Intensive, I'm not going to say her name, okay? I had one trader this past week. She's really good. She's a very competent trader. She is really good at getting the money. she made the most silly mistake and it backfired on her and she lost the trade, right? But it was the most silly mistake, and she way knows better than this, okay? So what was her mindset when she placed that trade, okay? What was going on? But the fact is there were 2 or 3 things that would have led to her executing that trade. And like, for example, in the Tribe of Traders, when we do a watch list, and let's say, like, again, this morning, we've got like 5 or 6 Aussie potential set up for us to execute today, right? And if I take this woman, for example, she might have had that same scenario, created her watch list and not done a hierarchy, not done a process of elimination, not selected the highest probability, and then got infatuated with one setup, thought, that's the perfect setup, that's the one I want to take. And without then taking the trade, without actually taking the time to finally assess, was the setup accurate compared to her rules, okay? And in this case, it wasn't, and right, it was an absolute classic mistake. So what is the one thing that you consistently do that leads to you making mistake trades? Because I promise you guys, eliminate the mistakes, you'll be profitable. Because trading is not hard. Trading is the easiest thing in the world, okay? What's hard is to eliminate the mistakes. And most of the mistakes start up here. They start with mindset, right? Most of them, that's where they start, right? And they start with because you're not present, you're not focused, you're in a rush, you are maybe angry about the last trade, or you're infatuated about the last trade, or you are infatuated about your results for the last month and you're desperate to make it happen again, miserable about your last month's results, right? These are the sort of things that will be going through your mind. Clear them out. Remember, every trade is a trade in its own merit. Never judge one trade or trade you're about to go into based on the previous trades, okay? Never place the unfair expectation on one trade that this is going to be your make or break trade, right? That trade doesn't deserve that. Every one of your trades is a trade on its own merit. Do not try and impact your current trade, your next trade, with the emotions of the past and your expectations of the future, okay? Because it contributes to mistakes. Okay, so what making that you can implement this week, you can address this week and eliminate this week, that you can actually focus on and eliminate this week. And I'm going to put it to you this. I'm going to ask you to focus on what is the thought that goes through your mind as you're sitting down to trade. What is that first thought that goes through your mind? You sit down, you open your computer, you open the chart. What is that thought? All right, be conscious of it. What is it? I want you to think about that. The other thing I want you to do is then, as you're pushing the button to trade, what is the thought going through your head? Is it, holy moly, let's see what happens now? Or is it crossing your fingers, closing your eyes and hoping for the best? What is it? What is the state? What's going through your mind, okay? Be very conscious, be consciously aware of what is going through your mind on those 2 times, right? As you're sitting down and as you're actually pushing the button to trade, okay? That is the one thing that I would suggest, because that's a real giveaway. That's where your mistakes are going to start, okay? So if it's anything other than complete and utter calm, right? Willingness to allow the chart to tell you what it's doing or what to trade, right? Allowing you to simultaneously, what I call simultaneously assimilate what the information the chart's telling you. So, okay, so being consciously aware of what those thoughts are in your head will give you an insight to your state. And if it's anything other than calm, confidence and certainty, you're likely to make mistakes, all right? That's my suggestion. But for you, where do you make your mistakes? Where do you find that you make your mistakes? And pick one of those areas and focus on it this week and work out a system, work out a way to eliminate that mistake. Because I promise you, eliminate the mistakes you're trading and you'll be profitable month after month after month. At the end of the day, that's how you compound your account, and there is no faster way to compound your account than trading. All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and enjoy. Last week of April, can you believe it? The last week of April. It's May on Friday. Jeez, summertime in the UK. Sorry, guys, down south, you're going into winter. We're going into summer. Anyway, have a good day and a great week. I'll chat to you soon. Take care. Bye.